Hey guys, Bob here. I wanted to talk about eggs today. Basically, there are essentially 9 parts of an egg. You have the shell, which obviously everyone sees, and then you have a thin egg white and a thick egg white. The technical name for this is the albumin, which is the albumen substance that actually what we consider and call the egg white. You know, when you crack an egg into a frying pan, you actually have your yolk, and then you see like a thicker jellier around the yolk itself, and then a thinner which kind of expands out over the pan. That's the thicker and the thin egg white. Then you actually have the what is called the, well, they're basically called a chord. It's a chalaza, which is C-H-A-L-A-Z-A. Now, what this basically does is they act as like cords which actually go across the egg and actually hold the yolk into place. With them holding the yolk into place, they actually are attached to a vitelline membrane, which is actually a coating that goes around the yolk, which holds that yolk in place. Now, the yolk itself is the main nutrients, is the main center of these eggs. A lot of folks think that when a chicken has a fertilized egg, that the yolk is where the baby comes from. That is not entirely true. The yolk itself acts as a nutrient, as a direct line of feeding for that baby chick. So essentially now, like when a mother has a baby, the umbilical cord, whatever the mother eats feeds into the baby, and boom, the baby gets its nutrients. Essentially, the yolk coming from that chicken is allowing that baby to eat and feed over that duration of the incubation period. Once the baby comes out, or once the chick is able to break through this eggshell, essentially it can live 3 to 4 days with very minimal water and virtually nothing to eat, basically because they've eaten so much of the nutrients and everything that's inside that egg. Now, when the baby does come out, obviously it'll peck everything else around it that's in there. So it'll come out and it'll eat the cord, the chalaza, it'll eat all the other membranes and all that's around it. So everything that baby gets for the first 3 days of its life all come from that egg, minus the shell. Now, where the fertilization comes into, in every egg, you're going to have a germinal disc, which is basically what is that chromosome that allows that egg to become fertile. The germinal disc is located on the outside, or the upside or underside of the vitelline membrane which surrounds the yolk. In every egg you have an air cell. Now, the air cell is located at the heavier side of the egg. Now, with that heavier side of the egg, you will notice that, you know, if you have an egg that's fresh out of the coop, like this one was just laid today. Now, if you drop this into a vat of water, this egg is going to sink right to the bottom. Over the course of a couple days, 5-6 days into it, it's going to start to sit up. By the second week, it's going to start and it's going to float about halfway. By about the second or third week into it, this egg is going to float completely up. Doesn't mean that it's bad. It just basically means that the consistency of the inside of the egg has gone away. Now, it's going to kind of make you think, well, how's that air cell going to expand if it's in a shell? Well, these shells are porous, so you have to be very careful. If you wipe them down, if you clean them up, if you wipe them with a damp rag, immediately put them right into the refrigerator that is set like 54 degrees or less. So problem is with them being porous, they become at that point prone to bacteria and such if they're left out on the counter once they're wiped down. Now, with that being said, the reason that these are still good enough to leave on a counter for days at a time, when the chicken lays these eggs, they actually put around these eggs what is called the bloom. A bloom is actually a coating that the chicken secretes as the egg's coming out, which protects it from bacteria. Now, the bloom, if not wiped, it can be left on a countertop in a bowl for up to 3 months, and that egg will still be good. Now, if you take your eggs, don't wipe them down, and take them with the bloom intact, put them right in the refrigerator, 54 degrees or less, these eggs can last up to 6 months in your refrigerator. Buy fresh eggs, help out a local farmer, help out a local neighborhood guy who just who has eggs and is just looking to sell them or looking to get rid of some. Eggs, superfood. Enjoy them. Have a good one.